it's Luna here. If you are like me, then you are an empath who is increasingly feeling overwhelmed by what's going on in our world. And I mean, that statement kind of applies to any time, but at the time I'm shooting this, it really applies. And if you're also like me, you just fell up the stairs and banged your arm up and almost fell out of the chair just reaching for something, and you're also having a really hard time being interested in things that really interest you. So I'm glad you came here because I need your help. I need your help in just having a moment of joy and a spot of normalcy by doing an unboxing. As Stephen Colbert would say, that was a long walk. Anyway, I have a deck to unbox for you today, and this deck is the from the world of H.P. Lovecraft, Cthulhu Dark Arts Tarot. Yeah. This is a gift deck from my daughter. Hold on. No, go back. Oh, for God's sake. And then my computer decides it wants to fuck with me. All right, here we go. Now, so this is a fandom deck, and I just unboxed the Labyrinth fandom deck, and you can go to there to see, thoughts on fandom decks. But in general, particularly if I'm not a fan of the fandom, it can be a difficult thing. So let's just see where we go. This is black box, complete 78 card deck and reading guide. The sides just have a lovely graphic design. It says BC or BC. It says. I don't know what that stands for. Yeah, there's a BC at the end of the box. Does it stand for like Brian Cthulhu? It says developed by Bragelonne Games, but that's clearly a C. Okay. Artwork Fortifem, author Maxime Ledin, D-A-I-N. Design Francois Vissin. Published by Kernunos, an imprint of Abrams. So maybe it's Bragelonne Kernunos? I do not know. At any rate, at the heart, Cthulhu Dark Arts Tarot, at the heart of H.P. Lovecraft's work, lies the Cthulhu mythos, a pantheon of gods and monstrous beings from beyond the cosmos and the dawn of time surfaced to reclaim our world. Those who witness this are doomed to madness and destruction. Inspired by these tales, design duo Fortifem, there's a weird O, have reimagined Lovecraft's greatest myths as the sumptuous cards of a full tarot deck. Enter the world of the great old ones in a brand new way. Contained within are 78 divinatory tarot cards accompanied by an explanatory 32-page booklet to learn the basics of taromancy, drawing, revelation, interpretation. Okay, so those are the basics. Taromancy, drawing, revelation, interpretation. All right. 32-page booklet. So this is, one would expect in a box this size that you're going to get like a full book. But 32 pages ain't much. Let's see. Gorgeous looking box. And I will say that I did read some Lovecraft way back in the 80s. It didn't catch me. I found it dense. So I am not versed. And we have white inside. Interesting. One thinks how much nicer it would be with black inside. And indeed, we have a very small book. So you see the box within a box here, the tray, and look at how far down things are in the tray. So here's the thing where we have chosen packaging that is not really suited to the size of the deck. I mean, I want a big book, y'all. Reading guide for the Cthulhu Dark Arts Tarot. You see, it's a very small, it seems to be even smaller than most LWBs. All right, let's look a little bit in here. Tarot reading usually follows protocols that vary depending on the person doing the reading, diviner, and the person asking for it, seeker. Our reading usually goes through the 3 following steps. You shuffle the cards, you draw and spread a number of cards in accordance with the method and type of reading you've chosen. You reveal and interpret the cards. It's interesting that they put a U in front there. When doing a two-person reading, each step can be carried out by either the seeker or the diviner as each participant wishes or is accustomed to. Then we have reading methods, a paragraph on that. Cross 3 cards, 7 card can be done several. Okay, reversed cards, and then covering cards. The diviner may find some readings lack precision if done with only the major arcana. In those cases, minor arcana are placed over the major arcana spread cards as covering cards in order to provide the missing information. This is also considered a complex method as it doubles the number of cards to interpret. All right, I'm going to read all this. A reading method is designed to help you and guide you in your interpretations. It indicates the number of cards to draw and their spread, as well as the meaning of the cards to interpret. There are many methods for reading cards. Some use the major arcana only, others use the whole deck. Each type of reading, cross, 3 card, 7 card, can be done several ways. Reverse cards, taking into account the reverse position of a card, serves to identify if it has a positive or negative meaning. A beginner may, however, find this method quite complex. And I find that explanation quite simplistic because it's not just positive or negative when you have cards that are negative in their upright position. Choosing your reading method. We recommend listening to your feelings and intuition. So we go straight into types of readings. We have the 3-card reading, past, present, or future, pros versus cons. And that way, what is in favor, what may constitute an obstacle, and the synthesis of the answer. All right. Interesting. Shuffle the cards or have them shuffled and focus on the question as you do. Discard the first 6 cards. Take the 7th and place it on the left. Discard 6 more cards and put the next one, the 14th, to the right of the first one. Conclude by discarding 6 more cards and placing the next one to the right of the 2 already on the table. Interesting. Then we have cross reading, 5 cards. So this is like the beginning of a Celtic cross, except it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is at the center. This reading is usually done with the major arcana, and you can cover with the minors. Interesting. First card, Seeker's Assets, the pros. Second, the obstacles. The third is the present situation, short-term evolution. Fourth is at the bottom, announces the long-term evolution, and 5 is placed in the center, the synthesis. Okay. If you choose to calculate the 5th card and add up the numbers of the 4 cards. If the resulting number is higher than 22, add up its digits. Very interesting. 7-card reading. In this, so they give you a method to calculate the major arcana. That is interesting. 7 card is an ambassador arcana is used to represent the theme of the reading. It can be randomly picked or chosen from the following: Empress, Emperor is the seeker, Hierophant is studies, the lovers is love, Chariot work, Hangman health, Devil money, the Moon home, Sun the couple, the world travels. All right, and then there's a 21 card reading with the majors, with all of the majors. Holy shit. Column 1 is the present thoughts and inner feelings of the seeker. The column 2. So, all right, let's just get in. And then we have interpreting the minor arcana. And then let's say that, all right, so we have the minors interpreted first, and then the back of the book has the majors. Interesting in that it tells you to use just the majors, and then it puts those last. Very interesting. Okay, right away I am seeing, do you see the splits? Some of the cards are sort of bent a little bit. Let me zoom you in. I don't think I'm going to have to zoom in as far as I did on my last unboxing because it's a big-ass deck. Dang. In fact, let me take you out just a hair. Holy moly. All right. That ought to do. So, interesting backs. It's just like, I can't remember what they call this. But, you know, dropping oily paints on the surface of water. But it's a hefty deck. Look at the, you know, I cannot span the deck with my hand. And as I was saying, do you see what's happening here? I'm holding these cards together, but they want to split right there because it's like that part of the deck has been bent a little. Wow. All right. Anyway, turn them over and get going. Here is the Fool. So the artwork is done in not a monochromatic tone, but it's interesting because we've kind of got purple and yellow, sort of complementary colors in a very desaturated tone. And the artwork itself is very detailed. It kind of looks like a lithograph or an etching. We've got the moon up here. It looks like the night, the curtain of the night has been torn and the sun is peeking through. Fascinating. See that? So here, I'll show you. You know, there's a lot of detail in the background. He's carrying a flute or a pipe of some sort. He's got a big key in his hand. There's a wand. There's a pentacle. There's, what is that? Oh, this looks like a measuring tool. Don't know what it's called. What that is, I didn't know. There's a coin. So are we seeing that he has all of the tools? He's got 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land. He's got bells on his heels. There's, looks like fighting and turmoil going on. Wow. That's loaded for a Fool card. And we can kind of see on the side of his pants there. It's just a stripe, but it almost looks like a bone. All right, so there's the Fool. I'm not going to go into so much detail on each of these. Now, the thing I do not have is the context of Lovecraft's stories, his cosmology. I don't have that in my head, so I don't know how much of his imagery these pull in. Here's the Magus for the magician. He's got a pentacle in front of him, skull cup, there's a dagger, you know, is a thumb aid, there's a wand he's holding, the pentacle, the cup. All right, they're all there, and we have a big bull's head. I mean, down to there's constellations in the sky. Fascinating. The High Priestess. She has a goat mask. There's another pair of, looks like scissors, calipers is what I was hearing for those other things. I don't know if that's right. She has a spinning wheel. There's the 2 columns. Very dark colors. And here we've got like red coming in. So looking at the palette, it is a more varied palette, but they are obviously shades of colors, very dark. The Empress. Oh, so here we have this giant insect creature with a whole bunch of boobs. One imagines that is a Lovecraft thing. Let's go to the book and see if there are things referenced here. Let's look at the Empress. No, it just gives meanings. Fertility, motherly love, material wealth, sensuality, femininity, decisiveness, return to nature. Decisiveness. Wouldn't have given that to the Empress. At any rate, so we have 0 references in the book to anything Lovecraftian. So you gotta know or you're not gonna know. The Emperor, here he is. We've got the Tree of Life, the structure of the Kabbalah up there. We've got tentacles kind of coming on. Is that Cthulhu? I don't know. Here's the Hierophant. Look at this monolith. Okay. The Lovers. So clearly as a deck, I am going to be reading this from what I know internally. And that's kind of a bummer. So the Hierophant, we've got a we've got him in the position kind of like the classical magician, with one arm up, the other arm pointing towards earth. We've got chaos going on in the graveyard. The Chariot is being pulled by things. Wow. La Justice. And Justice has... So we've got images... I mean, it's interesting because it almost looks collage-y, like these things being of a different palette. Definitely print looking, because, you know, I would think about, okay, you print the black, you print the purple, and then you print this color on it. So it definitely has that you know, printmaking kind of vibe. Here's the Hermit boiling himself alive in a gigantic cauldron. And the Wheel of Fortune. Now, I also want to say that my daughter buys me decks that, you know, she sees, and I do appreciate getting oddballs. You know, she finds oddballs, because tarot decks are for sale everywhere now. They're for sale at TJ Maxx. They're for sale at Joann Fabrics. They're for sale at Walmart. You know, you can just get decks everywhere. And she also buys me decks that she wants, because she knows she's going to inherit them later. So, you know, she plays the long game. So here we have a Wheel of Fortune and someone who is, yikes, impaled on the wheel. Very monochromatic looking thing there. Then we have Strength. I can actually see these better on my monitor than I can down here. Strength. So we have diversity. And here's the, look at the creature with all these mouths and tentacles. Clearly, that's a Cthuluian creature. The Hanged Man. He's got his... Don't tell anybody. Mummies all around him, like he's being lowered into a tomb or raised out of a tomb. Don't know which. The Death card. There's a headless person. There's certainly a lot. I mean, if these cards really do draw from actual scenes in Lovecraft's works, then someone who is a fan is going to dig the shit out of them, because they are very detailed images. There's a lot going on. We've got a headless person here, and there's an hourglass. It looks like somebody's hiding behind the door with a saw. Holy crap. And there's a hand coming up that I don't know if that belongs to anybody. Wow, lots. Temperance. So this does hearken to standard imagery. I mean, we have very little in the way of standard imagery. The Fool was kind of standard. There's allusions too, if you're familiar with the tarot. What is she pouring? Eyeballs? It looks like she's pouring eyeballs. Okay. Then we have the Devil. Ooh, yeah, baby. That's a beautiful image in dark. It's more purple to me than it is on camera. Looks very blue on camera, but this looks like gold and purple. Gorgeous. I mean, they are compelling images. Here's the Tower. The top of the church being struck off. There's an Ankh on the top. There are people falling. The Star. The Moon. That's as close to traditional as I've seen yet. We have Sphinx cats instead of a dog and a wolf. We've got a trilobite. Okay, the Sun. The Black Sun, shall we say. Wow. Piles of bodies. Somebody getting attacked by a wolf or a werewolf. Wow. Okay. Judgment. And there is the Great Cthulhu. I'd know him anywhere. And there is the World. So we've got this great knot of things going on in the middle. We do have the 4 fixed sign symbols. And somebody playing a cello. Okay, into the suits. Ace of Cups. the cup that the magus had on his altar. There's the 2. Okay, we've got pip cards. So this video just got shorter. There's the 3. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be very interesting to read, because I am going to go with the meanings that are in the books, of course, as I always do. And here come the courts. We have the Page of Cups, the Knight. Look at this mask. Wow, it's like those fish at the bottom of the sea. A headless corpse that the Knight is holding, and that's the Knight of Cups, the sensitive one. Here's the Queen of Cups. Wow, very Kali looking, I guess, with tentacles on her face. So, whew. Okay. I mean, I can tell if you dig Lovecraft and you dig the whole Cthulhu thing, you're going to love this deck. I really do think you will. There's the King. All right, now, Pentacles. Let's flip through these quickly. Nothing new to see there. We can go quicker. All right, Page of Pentacles. Ooh, this is a very different palette. Look at the pentacles. We have daylight. We have sun. We have, you know, something lighter than the entire rest of this deck. Has been dark, darkety, dark, dark. And then we have the Knight. Yeah. The Queen. And the King. Phew. Then we come to the swords. And let's just whip through these like so. Here's the page. Super dark. It's hard for me to tell what's going on in this card because it's very, very dark. Then we have the Knight of Swords. When the moon is dissing you and you're saying, fuck you, moon. And we've got a skeletal kind of horse. Yeah. And then the Queen and the King. Wow. Okay. Now we've got the wands. I really like that wand. And we have also a lighter palette for the wands. Interesting that the Pentacles had a lighter palette. There's the page. The Knight riding on a zebra. The Queen. Isn't she lovely? And the King. Dang. All right. Well, let me back you back out. I need to light my charcoal. Wrong thing. And then give this a bit of a cleanse and a blessing and see where we get. Because it's a tool, right? It's a divinatory tool. And anything, if you're a reader, you can read anything, right? Game on. Okay. So I'm going to look at the book again really quickly just to see if there's anything. Interpreting the minor arcana, each suit symbolizes an aspect of existence. Swords are intellect, cups represent emotion, wands represent accomplishment, and pentacles represent money. So specifically money. Each suit is made up of 10 numbered cards and 4 faces, whatever their suit numbers, as well as faces have the same basic interpretation. Ace, the beginning. 2, duality. 3, creation. 4, implementation or execution. 5, evolution. 6, transition. 7, victory. 8, balance. 9, the peak. 10, the outcome. Page is the project. Knight is action. Queen, possession. And King, success. Okay, that's interesting. So I already have some little bit of rogue frankincense that is smelling very good. So, allies and ancestors, guides and guardians, thank you for being here with me. Help me with this deck, please. Help me do. I'm going to give it a smoke cleanse. Where's the fire? There it is. Going to give it a little smoke cleanse with some sage. This is a deck that somebody that has a wrong idea about divination would be scared shitless of. All right. So, I'm going to cleanse everything that this may have picked up in its journey. I like the way the cards look when they're fanned. And with water and earth, cleansing with the elements, let's give them a sound bath. Sound, of course, represents the element of spirit. So if you didn't know, the elements have a corresponding sense. Smell is the element of air. They're very intuitive. Sight is the element of fire. Taste is the element of water. Touch is earth. Sound is spirit. Because I'm a glutton, I can't even separate the deck, and yeah, I can't do that. So this is going to be an interesting shuffling process. I am offering my guides fresh water and also the fire of Azrael. I offer this to this deck. Please become a true vehicle of information, of wisdom, a true tool of divination. Let me see if I can shuffle them, riffle shuffle side to side. Not really. So we're just going to have to do this. And I'm feeling like it's going to be a cut, having to cut to get the cards for the reading, and then we got to decide which reading we're doing. I'm thinking the 5, except I'm not using just the major arcana. Hold on a second here. Okay, 3-card reading is always done with the major arcana. The cross reading uses 5 cards, but you should draw only 4 and calculate the 5th from the other 4, but you can also draw the 5th card. It's up to you. It's usually done with the major arcana. 7 card, it can be randomly picked or chosen from the following. An ambassador arcana is used to represent the theme. Place the ambassador. All right, we're going to do... We're certainly not doing the 21 card. Okay, you know what? I'm just going freestyle. We're going freestyle. And I think we're going to do the 6 spread that I do. This gives the cards a chance to speak for themselves. So let's see if I can do a fan here. Ooh, that was nice. That was very nice. It's a good thing they fan. All right. 6 cards. Here we go. And the question, as ever, how do we survive these times? How do we go beyond survival in these times? When so many are dealing with just plain survival, how do we move beyond? And even how do we just survive these times? We're always looking for more. Maybe all we get right now is survival. So how do we go about that? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Wish me luck. Here we go. We're not going to have any room to do this reading. Let's move everything back here. Okay. Now, 1, drawing from the bottom because that's the order I pulled them in. 2, 3. So we have 2 minors and a court. We have the 8 of Wands, we have the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. So if I go just from my internal, the Eight of Wands is things happening fast, and then the Three of Pentacles is collaboration, and the Page of Wands, now how were they describing the pages in the project? So project in the creative, collaboration. The Page of Wands is certainly talking about communication and collaboration there. So we're saying that things can change quickly if we collaborate. The Three of Pentacles can talk about collaboration too, and really executing a plan. The Two can talk about creating a plan. The Three is the execution of that plan. Okay, actually Two of Wands, I'm thinking about creating a plan. Let's just do the looky-uppy. All right, Wands. Wands are a symbol of power. They stand for manliness and brute force, represent projects from planning to achievement. The Wand symbolizes the element of fire. The Eight says discipline, untiring activity, seeking perfection. Never did I... Oh, so these I can't just go from what's in my head. These have their own meanings. Eight of Wands, like I said, normally you're thinking about things happening swiftly. Wands flying through the air, get moving. Things are on their way, inrush of inspiration. They can talk about falling in love, you know, something where you just get swept away and carried off. But this, discipline, untiring activity, seeking perfection, and the Three of Pentacles is opportunities, signing a contract, okay, that's standard, and luck. So what I'm seeing here is when you work hard enough, the harder I work, the luckier I get. The harder I work, the luckier I get. So it is talking about really becoming active, taking on, untiring activity, certainly taking on an active role in order to create opportunities. And then the Page of Wands says very young entity, trustworthy, high potential. So we're talking about collaborating with, or an opportunity that could involve someone younger, someone trustworthy, taking advantage of someone's potential, or just acknowledging that there is a lot of potential. Then we have the Two of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. I'm very glad we got a major. The Two of Cups. That was the first suit, wasn't it? Yes. No, wait. So never mind. Cups are about the heart, feelings, everything emotional and spiritual. The cup symbolizes the element of water. Two of Cups, friendship, positive interaction, romantic relationship. Okay. So, unceasing activity and opportunities towards friendship and positive interaction. Okay, so now the story is unfolding. What do we do in these times to survive? We remain active with our friends. We actively seek out opportunities to be with people, to not just collaborate, but just to, FaceTime, just to have connection, feel connection with someone. And then the Wheel of Fortune, I still find it interesting that they put the majors at the back when most of the readings that they outline deal only with the majors. Okay. Small criticism, but that's what a review is about, is picking, right? All right. Wheel of Fortune upright is astuteness, fortunate initiative, end of a problem, chance, random success, spontaneity, equality of souls, contemplation without fear of the void. contemplation without fear of the void. Okay, so this is where I gotta think that came straight out of Lovecraft. All right, so the Wheel of Fortune. Fortunate initiative, astuteness, choice, random success, chance. I mean, it does mean chance. The wheel talks about, chance up and down, things change, fortunes change. It is a card of change. To me, it's a card of organic change. So it says that things will change organically, and this is this talked about a young person, very capable, opportunities. I'm trying to stay within the descriptions that they're giving me to suss this out here. Wheel of Fortune, very young entity, trustworthy, high potential. So just talking about the potential of something, that there's a high potential, that opportunities, things are changing and can bring us opportunities. Maybe we just really connect personally with those that are important to us, and that is what allows things to begin to shift. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom. What does she say? Generous and altruistic entities, self-confidence. So at the bottom here, the outcome, I'm looking at that as, here's, because the question was, how do we? Well, we become altruistic. We look at how we can draw on the wonderful opportunities that we have to connect with people we love, how fortunate we are in that regard, so gratitude. And then looking at how we can draw on that good fortune that we have in order and pass it along to others that may not have that. I'm going well beyond what the card meanings are here, but that's what I do. I'm a reader. So a very young entity. I'm still kind of puzzled about this very young entity. So let's take a hit on the court cards. They're talking about taking hits on majors. I'm going to take a hit on the court cards. We have the Moon, and we have the Three of Cups. So the Moon at the top, rest, lucidity, meditation, intuitions, experimentation, patience, navigation, bewitchment, respite, and inner voices. Okay, I get rest, because it's like, okay, nighttime, go to bed. Lucidity, light shining in the darkness, being lucid. Meditation, yeah, kind of. Intuitions, absolutely. But experimentation, I don't get that. What about the Moon talks about experimentation? I make no connection there, sorry. Patience, all right, because Moon can represent a cycle, things that take time, things that unfold over time. Navigation, stars would make more sense there to me. But it can also be, a light shining in the darkness. Bewitchment, yes, okay. Respite, that goes with rest, and inner voices goes with intuition. The reverse of it says misled senses, traps, deceptions, trickery, blackmail, delusions, dissension, brutality, distraction, dementia. Okay, that goes a little far, but I get it. Then let's look at the Three of Cups. Harmony, reconciliation, healing. All right. So here, if we put the Moon there, it can talk about these, opportunities, working hard to create opportunities, but then balancing that with rest, making sure that we take time for the internal as well as the external. And then this talks about, when we go to those relationships, it can change our fortune and bring about healing and harmony and reconciliation. It can also talk about just looking at where we might need to reconcile. So when there's a war going on, I don't even like calling it a war, when there's an invasion going on, and we're feeling absolutely helpless. Maybe we look to what we can heal in our own lives, where we have been at war with maybe someone in our own life or ourselves, or where we're at war with the story that we have of our lives, some this internal conflict. And if we go, a way to stop feeling helpless and to help us feel like our fortunes are changing, or to help time move forward, is what I'm looking at. Both of these things, the moon and wheel of fortune, talking about time moving forward. When we're in a position where we can't do a goddamn thing about what's happening over there, then we focus on our own lives, look at what is bringing conflict maybe. And there's no cards here that talk about conflict, but it's the larger frame in my mind of the question that it's taking me there. And also just this talking about reconciliation, that maybe we don't have someone that we've broken with and need to reconcile with, but we do have someone who our relationship could be better than it is if we look at healing it, if we get together with them. And relationships have been damaged, or there's been hurt because we haven't been able to be with each other. It's no fault of either party. We just haven't been able to be together. So, we can reconcile and really look at coming together. The Three of Cups really being a card of celebration and a plan coming together. We can talk about making plans, collaborating. So, overall, if I didn't have the frame of that question, I could really look at this being making some plans to have a good time with some people, and it helps things move on. It can generate its own opportunities and good fortune. The moon there, though, not looking at their meanings, but the moon meaning unconscious, subconscious, things that go on beneath the surface. So a lot of work. This can talk about contracts, a lot of work. So we can look at maybe tapping into the unconscious and defining a project. Maybe a course of study that deals with the unconscious, deals with working with our cards, something like that. Okay, I think I've wrung everything out of this that I can. I could keep going and keep going. There's certainly, it's a tool. It's a divination tool. In the right hands, it becomes a very good tool. Is this a deck I'm going to be reaching for? No. Am I happy to have it in my collection? Always. Always. There is not a single deck that I am not happy to have in my collection, even if I can't stand the deck, right? It's a collection. I like it to be broad. So, and the thing that I didn't do really is read for my daughter, but maybe I did. Take a look at it, kiddo. Did I nail anything there? Wow. That was interesting, I would say. Oh, come on. My OBS is doing a thing. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me if you made it this far. If you did and you really dug what I laid down there, subscribe to my channel, but you're probably already subscribed. So hit the like button and hit the bell notification. And look down below at my Amazon wish list, because you can buy me a deck and I will read for you. You can send me a question in your little note, and I'm happy to read for you on my video. So please consider that. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you Wednesdays for live stream readings, and I will see you on the next unboxing as well. Until then, please be safe. Please be healthy. This is Luna. Blessed be.